Hello everyone. So I'm approaching Dante's freezer because the flight wasn't really anything to record. I took a little damage, but that's okay in Dante's freezer. So I'm just gonna go over like little skips and maybe potential skips that I'm thinking about. But Dante's freezer might not have much. There's a couple I found in the swamp that could work. Or maybe just one that I didn't know about but was pretty widely known. I hate the little trolls though, because they attack pretty fast. So usually I'll put Earthshot here on the catapult because this guy will just keep getting knocked over and not actually take any damage, which prevents the apes from spawning. But otherwise I'll use electricity to keep them out of the way. Unfortunately my electricity isn't maxed yet on this file.
That was a good idea. Glad I thought of it. You? Glad you? No.
This one I was most excited to learn about because this place took me forever as a kid. Or this little section, so you can use just this guy to jump over the fence. Which, yeah, I just really love the jump skips in this game. Dante's freezer just feels like wall after wall where you fight a bunch of enemies. But I still like how it looks. I really like the snowy levels. But yeah, the camera can handle Dante's freezer, I think, one of the best. Pretty good out of all the areas. Might have enough contrast. So here's one it took me a little bit to figure out. Like this, if you go at it, whoops, I hate it when I do that. If you go at it diagonally and hit the circle, you'll get pushed out, and then you can just walk past this wall, which is really nice. And then you intentionally get hit because it'll fly you forward, and then you just run down the snow valley. And then you jump up here and dash. You have to be careful not to die. I can't remember if it was here.
I sure hope so. What?
Sometimes when you skip and if you die, it'll take you back a pretty good ways because it doesn't hit the checkpoint. I think this one is fine though. So I'm gonna hit this. I'm just gonna go this way. So this here, kind of like that last one, I feel like there's gotta be a way to get past this wall, but there's nothing to push you past the wall, unfortunately. I try to do this, but it just kicks you back pretty far, and there's nothing to really push you into the wall back there. But it would probably only save you not that much time compared to I don't know, it's not much for this definitely works here, just using the snowball to get past, but it probably wouldn't save you very much time just to go through and try and get past the wall. Alright. So this one I'll just hit the tree before the cutscene just so I can get the snowballs down. And then these guys are invincible until they get close, so I don't waste an earth shot until they get pretty close. There might be a way to skip that tower, but considering where it is, I have a feeling it's pretty close. Not much you do is really going to help skip. Especially when it only takes 5 seconds to get past it. I've only seen that guy actually get hit by the barrel like 3 times. So this one, like these towers would scare me as a kid, but there's like an invisible wall over here that would trigger that shock thing to happen. So that way doesn't really work.
Here we go.
And I think there's one on the other side too. Like if you try and walk that way. Yeah, there's an invisible wall here too. Probably just surrounds the tower. But maybe I might be able to use one of those ghouls to get more height and maybe completely fly around the tower.
Try again.
I hate the wind here, it makes me think a Dreadwing is going to land. So I'll stun these guys with the electricity. And then hopefully not... Oh yeah, there's a huge invisible wall there.
Let's keep trying.
I like the battle music here because it's pretty low key. But I can't jump up here. And if you get too close to the gate, sometimes it'll just trigger the shock too. Yeah, that invisible wall goes there. I might be able to get around it though.
Alright, let's do it.
But Dante's freezer overall is a pretty short level. Like, you can see the end once you get the electricity, because there's that bridge over there that... Wait, is that it? Yeah, there's the bridge over there that you're going to cross later, and then there's the Dreadwing platform. So I gotta get these guys out of the way real quick. That wasn't very good. Oh, it'll force you. Okay, that reminds me. So there are some areas in this game where even if you're not falling, if you're just flying there, like this bridge, which has the big ape on it. What's that noise? Okay, they're just chilling. So that bridge that normally has the big ape on it on this Dreadwing platform, if you try to fly over to it, it makes you fall, like there's like a kill wall. So that doesn't really work. So I think there might be one just like that, so you don't just glide around the tower. Or that's what it seems so far. I have a feeling these invisible walls go pretty high. Yeah, they don't even warn you if you get too high. Alright, I'll just have to deal with it the old-fashioned way. Normally, like... But yeah, low-level fire doesn't do that much damage. I think I'm only at level 1 fire right now. But you can still, like, make them stand still by just using poor man's fire. It probably doesn't want me to getting so close. Alright, that makes sense. to beat, and they don't give much mana anyway. So they're probably one of my least favorite enemies in the game, just because they don't give you much magic back, but they take a lot of magic to kill. And unfortunately, in Eternal Night, they're like all over the place in Malefor's lair. Or Mountain of Malefor, whatever. Alright, once the apes come in and hijack the place, we can just walk by though. I've had it one time where this ape wouldn't spawn, so I was just stuck looking at that patch of snow. And I had to go to the main menu and come back. Which isn't ideal, which thankfully it didn't happen on a serious run. I think I was just experimenting with the game like now. Sometimes they'll freak out after getting dropped, which can cause problems, but thankfully they didn't do that. So I'll use this to keep them still. And then you can just jump over this gate. Which is nice, but it kind of messes up your camera. There we go. And then you won't have enough charge, so it's important to square X triangle to get all the way to the end. It's so funny when enemies, if they fall, sometimes they'll just float on the plane they were standing on. Which is kind of weird, and it's kind of annoying for the ape on the bridge. Or on the broken bridge, on the Dreadwing platform. But, it's kind of funny if it's not important to kill them. I think these enemies look really cool, but they freaked me out as a kid because they're just so tough. Yeah, I'll usually use fire if it's against one enemy. Oh, whoops, I forgot to do the trick. So normally I'll leave gems here because there's 3 trogs over there, trolls. And, you're not going to have enough mana from one measly mana bar to kill all 3 of them. And if you use your Fury while they still have armor, then they'll still have their orange health bar. So it's important to get all their armor off, otherwise they'll still have their health bar, but they'll be in their harder skeletal form. Or at least I think it's harder. But this can get hairy, hold on. But yeah, I normally wouldn't use Fury, but 3 trolls is just pushing it for me. And it increases your attack damage, I think. And it at least gives you that little fire thing. So you do extra damage. I've tried to run to those stairs, trying to like bypass the Thunder Tower, but I'll get to like the little black first step and just die, unfortunately. Not fast enough to outrun the tower. So yeah. When I was a kid, I would always fall for the gems in the center of the map. Because I'm like, I need those experience points, but it's not worth the fight. It's kind of annoying. Oh, shit. Yeah, I gotta be careful in this area. Because you will get hit if you're not careful. But it could be worth it, just to get further on. Depending on the mana those trolls give me, I'm usually either in pretty good shape or bad shape over here. Like, I'll run out of mana, so I have to destroy gates by hand, which is not ideal. It's so weird how the gates will do damage. I mean, those fences do damage. Thankfully that Dreadwing dies, but it's kind of... you don't really know how much mana that'll give you. So for the stairs, I'll usually just run right at the start, and I'll always, like, be able to get across. And then these Dreadwings will show up. And the beginning of the Dreadwing fight begins. Or, duh. So then I'll just run to the side because they're not going to hit you. And I switch to electricity so I can make short work of these Dreadwings and apes. Unfortunately, that guy doesn't notice you unless you, like, go right up to his face. Come on. Sometimes I can make him jump off the cliff on their own. Yeah, Max Thunder is helpful here. Which I hope I have enough. Alright. The reason why I don't, like, level up my Earth Shot all the way is because Max Earth Shot will cause enemies to flatten. Oh, that's so awesome. It will cause, when you use it on enemies, it'll cause them to flatten, which takes a long time for them to actually disappear and die and give you gems. So, level 2 Earth Shot is still really good, and it doesn't flatten enemies, which is very helpful. But yeah, Max Thunder is very helpful. I hate how the enemies can, like, tell where you're going to go, and they can, like, predict it, and then run into you. Like, was that helpful to you? That probably wasn't very fun. Unfortunately, when they land on, like, here, that little ledge will catch them, so it takes a bit more work to throw them over the edge. But yeah, sometimes they just fall off like that, and it's, like, amazing. They just slide like butter in a hot pan. Oh, was that the last one? It feels like that fight goes by faster every time I do it.
Alright, my turn. Hello!
Alright, so thankfully I already have full health and mana, so I don't need to collect any gems and I can just go straight to the fight. Which is where ice comes into play, because ice is very good for bosses. Because, look at that.
How's that?
So I've seen people that can, like, use get them down to the next one and only use half their mana bar, but I always use over half, so I die, so I get a full mana bar, so I don't have to use melee attacks on them. Because melee attacks are just gonna take forever compared to Ice Breath once I die and come back. And the loading for when you die is pretty fast anyway. There's a couple problems though. You have to go far away from the boss, which he can like use his shield or he can use his Ice Breath on you. But thankfully he doesn't do that this time, so this is just cake. So normally I time this as the end of Dante's freezer and the
miraculous, incredible, stupendous.
Yeah. When he says dragon, I'll hit L1 and then it goes to the next cutscene and Dante's freezer is over. But this time, just because it makes sense for me to like save the Electric Guardian and then show you the Electric Trial, I'll just do that in this video.
Yeah, it's good to see you as... Spyro, come here. Electricity, the spark of life. Listen and I will teach you its secrets.
Oh yeah, the 30-second statue going down. I really wish this temple showed up in Dawn of the Dragon. Like, if it is the temple that Malefor took over, it honestly doesn't look like it at all. One thing with max electricity though, you have to make sure you stand far enough away or you'll just launch all of these guys over. Which is kind of annoying with the max electricity, but it's worth it to throw those Dreadwings off so easily. And it also makes this like chase thing a joke.
You're a quick study after all.
But yeah, thankfully we're back in an orange area, so the camera is much happier. Actually. So I only level up these electricities, and so Electric Shot and Ice Breath I'll only level up just for these trials, or these trainings.
This way, oh Mob 1.
Just because it's kind of a pain to deal with. But yeah, I wish the other Guardians talked more. Like, they're just silent, unlike Ignitus who like talks every time he teaches you something. Which again, Voltaire like has no lines in Dawn of the Dragon. He's like my favorite Guardian.
Spyro, come here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'll show you like the other way I've seen people take care of these guys. They'll have them all, oh shoot, they'll have them all dash. And then, yeah. Ouch. That doesn't really do me any good though. They always catch me. Oh shoot. So yeah, I usually just stay in the middle because it does me some actual good. They're jumpy today. It's probably like my least favorite attack that the apes will do. it's kind of hard to jump over their jump attack. So yeah,
Your training is complete.
unfortunately,
For now.
when you level up Furies, like the triangle, or the shots, when you level up the shots for each breath, it'll make your Fury take longer, and for me it makes it more laggy.
Spyro, Cyril, the eye.
It goes out of focus on load screens, but like, it's a load screen, it doesn't really matter.
Coldplay.
Oh yeah, it's totally